Now, as you can see, it was fairly simple to put this guy together, and we get plenty of good information. In fact, you can do a rudimentary BPR render, take this into Photoshop, and we'll be doing more of that next unit. But really what I want you to take away from this process is after you spend the 20 minutes or so to put this thing together, is how easy it is to do variations. For example, let's go ahead and split this guy back out. Control-Shift-A. Let's go ahead and split hidden. Let's do a Shift-D to turn off dynamic temporarily. Let's turn on perspective. Let's go ahead and get rid of these two pieces here. Control-Shift-A. Oh, you know what? These must be welded. That's okay. So I'm going to get rid of his shades here. Let's go ahead and delete hidden. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this cap here, delete hidden, and then we're just going to do a close convex hull. Control-Shift, make this all one polygroup. I'm going to inset, polygroup all. Let's go ahead and do a quick mirror and weld, make sure it's mirrored. There we go. We're going to do a big inset, another big inset, Q-mesh, polygroup all, pull that down. And really, I'm kind of scared to do polygroup all. I like to do polygroup island because I know I'm just polygrouping and moving what I see. Then I'm going to do this one, Q-mesh, polygroup island. I'm going to pull this out, hold down control, and then we can control, I'll grab this one and we can move this back down. And you know what, let's go ahead and do split mask points, go into solo mode. I'm going to reset the pivot down here. So I'm going to look at him in perspective now, and I'm just going to use this to kind of evaluate where his head's going to go. So his head can kind of get buried in there. And let's go ahead and duplicate this off. Control-Shift to isolate. Let's go ahead and we're going to isolate this one. Then we're going to go into display properties. Double temporarily. We're going to get rid of this bottom one here. Go ahead and delete hidden. Turn off double. Q-mesh this out. Go out of solo mode. And now we can do Q-mesh polygroup island, and we can just hold down shift and pull it around here so we can kind of widen that out. Let's go ahead and get out of perspective mode again. I'm going to go ahead and push that down. And you know, if I want a slight dome, like it's a cap, I'm going to hold down Control-Shift, isolate this top one, invert that, delete hidden, and we'll do another close holes, but this time we're just going to pull out a little bit. We'll just give that a slight dome here. I'll isolate this one, Control-W. We got a whole new head. We got these arms here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to shoot those arms to the top. They already are. I'm going to take these and I'm going to split those off, shoot them to the top, merge them down so they're with the arms. I can take these arms now. I'm going to move these up a little bit and we'll scale them in just a tiny bit. And now we can see maybe what it would look like with 4 arms. So we can just do like a Goro style thing. Or maybe we can make these like really tiny arms here. They can go up front, like little helper arms. Or these don't even have to be helper arms. These can be like a support system. So I'm going to go ahead and do a split mask points, go into solo mode here. We're going to take these hands, Control-Shift-A, invert that, delete hidden. Let's go ahead and do a cube right down the middle. We'll go ahead and split mask points. We'll go ahead and put in like maybe a little carrying basket. And to kind of balance him out, I'm going to put some tanks on his back. So let's go ahead and grab a cylinder. Let's go ahead and rotate these up. Let's go ahead and chop the tops off, delete hidden, close convex hull, hit Control-W. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just split these off, and I'll hit Control-W. It might look kind of cool with some asymmetry here. So I'm going to Alt mark these ones, isolate them, invert them, delete hidden, and then do another close hole. Hover over, inset, flat island. Inset polygroup island, Q-mesh. I'm going to go, or you know what, I'm going to duplicate this off, turn off X symmetry, go into solo mode, isolate this one, and then isolate just that one, delete hidden, and now I can Q-mesh polygroup island and just pull this up. I'm going to hold on to this one, hold down Control, and I'm going to continue to pull that one up. And then I'm going to unmask this one. I'm going to kind of bend it kind of over here a little bit. I'm going to hover over this face. We're going to delete flat island here and here. And then I'm going to bridge 2 holes here to here. And we'll kind of just give that a little bend there, hit Control W, and now he's got a little smokestack coming out of one of his barrels. And always remember, you can start using your insert mesh brushes and dragging wires and stuff all over the place, or doing your Z-spheres and adding that kind of detail as well. So just like that, I have another variant. And if you give yourselves a couple hours, just like doing thumbnails in Photoshop, you can do thumbnail sketches of tons of different robots. And then, of course, you can do renders and paint overs. Again, we'll get into that next unit.